In this segment, I'm going to hang an asymmetrical grouping where not all the pictures are the same size. And the easiest way to do that is to place them on the floor on a piece of paper. You can use craft paper or shelf paper. And you want to start by just arranging everything. I've sort of started with this one. I've got the two pictures that are the same, flanking a little middle grouping. I want to straighten these up so that they're all the same distance from the bottom. I've lined up this one picture in the middle with the bottom. That way I can measure. This is 3 inches over. Straighten that up. And we got 3 inches on that side. And then I want it 6.5 inches to the bottom, so I want to bring that down 6.5 inches. And then we can do the same on this side so that they're balanced with each other. So what you want to do is look at all the pictures, double check your measurements, straighten everything up, and then just take a pencil and just trace everything. And I purposely included a little object. It's also better just to trace that. That doesn't have a wire, it just has a little hook on the back, so that way it'll be easier to find the correct spot to put the nail for that. Now once they're all outlined, you have to turn them over. Check your wire height. I'm only going to use one hook on these just to make it easier, but you know from the other segments on how to do it with 2 wires. I mean 2 hooks, which would obviously be better. So that's at 2 1/8. So we want to come down to 2 1/8. Put a spot. Measure across. It's about 12 inches across. So we'll put center point there, 6 inches. And one thing you want to do, if you have a lot of pictures, especially, you want to put numbers on them. Number that one. So that'll be number 1. You can put him aside. Number 2, again, 2 inches down. And it's actually under 13 inches, but I just kind of like say it's 13 and then go on either side of this a little bit so that I don't have to do the fractions so much. So that's 6.5. And this is number 2. The other thing you can do if you have a lot of pictures is take a digital photograph of them laid out on the floor, and that way if the numbering gets confusing or if you tear the template down or forget to number something, you have a visual record of where they went. Now this one, if the wire is done correctly, should be the same as that one was, which it is. So that's 2 inches to there. And again, center it's 12 inches. So that's 6 inches in the middle. And this is number 3. And then on the back of the little angel, you can see where the hook is. It's actually not perfectly centered. It's slightly to the left-hand side. So I'm just going to make a little mark there. And we'll just put a little single nail there. We won't put a hook because it'll show up over the top of it otherwise. And we don't have to number him because he's obvious. So now you've got your template done. I'll have to get a pair of scissors to cut this out. Doesn't matter how accurate this is, but it'll just, at least the top and the sides, you can just kind of cut around. And just cut off the side. And to make it easier to find the center point, sometimes I just fold the whole thing in half. Especially if it's an asymmetrical grouping where this has got pictures that are the same on either side of the middle, but sometimes you'll have a random grouping. It's easier to find the center point that way. So sometimes what I do is I just put some of the tape on my hand, and that's the way it's easy to get to after. Put this down. Now the demonstration wall, the center point was 39 inches. So we'll make a little, we'll just put it at a diagonal so that the point of that is the middle of the wall. Now if this is a large template, you definitely need help with it, but that's why I made a little smaller template for the demo. As far as the height goes, it's not going to be the standard 60 inches. You will have to eyeball it a little bit. You can put it approximately to that. Now we're just going to put some Post-it up to hold it temporarily because we still have to level it. We're just going to get this put up. The 60 on my eye level is about to there. So now we want to check and make sure that the template is level. And actually, it looks pretty level. You could get a longer level if you need to, but basically it might be easier to try it along the bottom of your template. It's pretty level just the way it is, so we don't have to adjust it. But if it wasn't level, you could just remove the tape and straighten it out. You want to make sure that's nice and flat. Just adjust a few of these so it's nice and smooth. And we're ready to put our nails in the wall. So again, now we're going to put the nails up. And again, you want the bottom of the hook to line up with that X. Tap that in. You want to tap very gingerly. You don't want to whack the nail because you could damage the wall. That's why I tend to hold the hammer a little bit close to the end. Just give it a gentle tap. And then we got number 1 to do. And the little angel, the little circle on the back was close to the top, and it doesn't weigh hardly anything, so I'm just going to put a nail without a hook on there. And the little circle will lock right on there. And we're good. You don't want to put these nails too tight because you're going to rip the template right off of there. And just make sure the nail stays behind. Don't pull forward, just pull straight down. Remove all your bits and pieces and your tape. Take the angel, start with that. Make sure that's on the hook. Don't worry about leveling things right now. We can do that after they're all up. This picture was number 3 and it went over here. So we'll put that up and get it sort of level. This was the one that was in the middle. And this is number 1. Now it's handy to use your short level. Probably the easiest thing is to center the middle one first. Make sure it's level. Level these. And then just want to double check to make sure the space between them are 3 inches that we had decided on. You can just tweak it a little bit, but that's pretty close to what we had decided. And that can be easier. You could also use the template for doing symmetrical groupings, but sometimes it's more complicated than necessary. But with asymmetrical groupings, this is a really great way to do it.